when you're in the vortex, things unfold for you in a way that there's no question in your mind that that's the thing to do. You know how sometimes you say, I don't know whether to go this way or that way. You're not in the vortex, because if you were in the vortex, you'd say, I'm going this way and I don't care what anybody thinks about it. When you say, those people over there and their philosophy is really awful and their philosophy is going to bring us all down, you're not in the vortex. And it's not their philosophy that's bringing you down. It's you not being in the vortex that's not bringing you up. No one can bring you down, but your standards of how up you really are keep changing. And if you don't stay up to speed with who you are, you don't feel good. So, what's the difference between a higher, faster vibration and a lower, slower one? Higher, faster feels better. It's what joy and love are. Lower, slower feels worse. It's what depression is. It's what despair and fear are. Higher, faster has less resistance. Lower, slower has more resistance. So really, the operative word that we are talking about here today is, as I stand in my human form, what is it that I could do a better job of controlling that would make the most difference in my life? And we want to say to you, if you'll get a bead on your resistant tendencies and work them into less resistance, your vibration will raise. You'll hover on the brink of the vortex, or you'll pop in often. Once you get in there, you'll be able to maintain your vibrational stability longer so the vortex won't keep spitting you out. It's interesting. You do. You focus on something that makes you feel good and you get in there. Feels really good. Then you remember something. Start focusing on it. The vortex spits you right out. Because if you're not up to speed, you can't sustain that vibration, you see. We're eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. It is our desire to coax you into the vortex on whatever the subject is. We have a whole bag of tricks to help you find your way in. But most of all, we want you to know that once you understand these two vibrational aspects of you, you're now going to understand everything that you've ever lived or everything that anybody else is living. In other words, there are no mysteries once you understand the laws of the universe. And the laws of the universe are very simple. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So in this non-physical vortex, everything vibrational that is likened to your desire has already been assembled. That's why we can look into your vortex of creation and let you know it is absolute that what you want is done. The expanded, evolved version of you is vibrationally completed. But then you say, but Abraham, I'm here in a physical body, in a physical world. I want manifestations around me. And we say, and they will come, but not until you cue yourself up vibrationally and become a match to the precursor of all creation. You've got to bring yourself vibrationally up to speed, and it is our promise to you that the physical trappings will show themselves to you. But there's one thing that we want to say to you. You didn't come for the physical trappings, and we're not trying to talk you out of them. We want you to have them. You came for the exhilaration of coming into alignment with you. You came in this body knowing that contrast would help you to expand. And you knew that once the expansion had taken place, that the sweetest ride of your life would be in the getting up to speed with that expansion. It's not just the getting of the stuff or the landing of the relationship or the deposit into your bank account of the dollars that you're seeking. It's not only the manifestation that is meant to give you those good feelings. It is the emotional alignment that is responsible for the good feelings. And if you can get this thing that we're going to say to you next, your life will be blissful from this point forward. If you can be happy in anticipation of what's coming, you'll be happy forevermore, and everything you want will come quickly. You have to look forward and be happy in anticipation of what's coming. Happy in anticipation of what's coming. Because when you're hopeful, you're on the brink of your vortex. And when you're on the brink of your vortex, it brings you in. frequently. And when you get in there, you have full sight. When you get into the vortex, vibrationally speaking, when you are up to speed and in that vortex, that's when you start rendezvousing with the things that really matter. That's when meaningful things start happening. That's when the speed of life picks up. That's when you feel vital and alive and frisky. That's when your feeling of passion comes over you. That's when you begin living exactly as you knew you would when you came. You did not come forth to suffer. You did come forth to sift contrast. But it was your plan to launch the rocket, then turn your attention to the idea in anticipation of the receiving of the desire and ride that joyful wave to its completion. And you knew that there would always be another platform and another set of contrasting experiences and another rocket. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off limits. Don't be surprised if we do not encourage very much of your out of the vortex conversation. But we do appreciate and acknowledge the value of some of that out of the vortex conversation. Step 1 is sifting through contrast. It's when you ask. Step 2 is source answers. That's this vortex of creation we're talking about. Step 3 is you got to get in the vortex. That's what the art of allowing is. So, very good unfolding here. A little slow going, but don't you now know more about the vortex than you've ever known? Don't you understand your relationship with it? Don't you know what your dominant priority is? Don't you understand your guidance system better? Don't you want to think the thoughts that feel better? Aren't you willing to be nicer to yourself when you're not in the vortex? Aren't you willing to let everybody else off the hook who hasn't been trying that hard to make you feel good? Aren't you ready to take responsibility for how you feel? Don't you sort of feel empowered to do it? Don't you love the feeling of being out of the vortex and then consciously, deliberately focusing yourself in? Don't you love coming into your own power? Don't you really like knowing that the universe has your back, that everything that you want's all queued up for you and it's just a matter of focusing yourself into it? Don't you now, from inside the vortex, appreciate more of those outside the vortex contrasting experiences that have caused you to expand? Don't you like knowing that you will constantly expand? Don't you like knowing that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Don't you like that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Don't you like that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Well, that's the part you don't like so much, because you keep thinking you want to get in the vortex and get it done and live happily ever after. And we want you to hear something that is hard to hear, but it is so, so true. And that is, it's getting into the vortex that is the rush of life. Just like when you're hungry and you eat something, it tastes better than when you've been eating all day long. When you're out of the vortex and then you work your way in, that's that zest. That's that feeling. That's that feeling of motion forward, you see. You just don't want to make a career out of step 1. You want to make a career out of step 3, which is moving into the vortex, into the vortex. And each time you're in there, then you can look at those people who you felt were responsible for your not being in, and now they look beautiful to you because they gave you the reason to expand, and in your moving into your expansion, you are thrilled with everyone involved. So you have this person, and they just harass you into expansion, 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 expansion. But then you can't get your eyes off of them because they're just so in your face and so inappropriate. So the very person that caused your expansion is now the person you're using not to take your expansion, and that's why you're extra, extra mad at them. But when you're in the vortex, you'll be extra, extra appreciative of their having prodded you into expansion, and you're using your guidance and wisdom to now take your expansion. There's still a little bit of, oh, Abraham, just get me in the vortex. Let me just get in the vortex. I'm tired of not being in the vortex. I just want to get in the vortex where good things can start happening to me. And we say, get in the vortex and good things will start happening to you. It is law. So do you get it? Can you feel this assembling of cooperative components? Can you feel the doneness of what you've asked for? Do you know your veritable fortune, the bodily conditions that you seek, your lovers, all things that you're asking for have already been gathered and are lined up, waiting for you to enter the vortex where you have visual awareness, sensual awareness of them. You can't set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. You got to be in the vortex in order to see the combining and cooperative components. Do you understand? So if you are in despair or fear, even though what you want has gathered, you're so far from it you can't see it. That's why you don't believe it. You don't see any evidence of it. If you're angry, you're still not seeing it. Probably wanting it more, but still not seeing it. When you're in frustration or overwhelmment, you're not in the vortex. You're not allowing yourself full vision or manifestation. You're not allowing it to unfold into your experience. When you get into hope, now you're in the vicinity. When you are feeling hopeful about something, even though you haven't seen it, that means you've released enough resistance. And in the releasing of resistance, you are cooperating enough vibrationally that the vortex can bring you in. You see how it works? The vortex is bringing in all cooperative components. But if you're over there beating the drum of a different vibration, then you're not a cooperative component, and you can't be someone who comes into vibrational alignment with your own creation. You're a holdout of your own creation. And what's so interesting about that is that if life hadn't caused you to create it, you wouldn't even notice through negative emotion that you're not there. In other words, if you hadn't expanded, not going wouldn't feel uncomfortable. So when you feel negative emotion, it always means two things. First, you've created one whopping swirling vortex, and you're not going. Oh, you're going. You're just going to wait till you croak, maybe, to go. We don't think you should have to croak to get in the vortex. We think that you should be able to release enough resistance by focusing upon enough good feeling things, by giving yourself and others the benefit of the doubt, by giving yourself a break, by looking for reasons to praise and reasons to appreciate rather than reasons to criticize and reasons to poke and probe. When you release or relax your resistance, the vortex will bring you in, and then your heart will soar, your mind will clear, your path of creation will unfold, and then you will be living the life you intended when you came forth into this physical body. That's what you came for. Get into the vortex and milk it for all it's worth, and stay there and feel the resonance of it and know who you are. And the more you're in that vortex, the more you become unwilling to hang around outside of it. And the more you're in it, the more you feel the familiarity of it. The more you tune your awareness to what it feels like when you're in and out, until you'll become, as Jerry's describing himself, you just barely brush across the surface of something that isn't up to speed with who you are, and it gives you prickles. Not because you've done something awful, but because it's not who you are. It doesn't resonate with who you are. Life is supposed to feel good to you. You are powerful beings, and you've come forth with great reason. And we really do. We make too much of all of this. Just find things that feel good and focus on them. And when you find things that don't feel good and you're focused upon them, say, hey, I'm focused upon something that doesn't feel good. Why would I focus upon something that doesn't feel good? There must be something that I could focus upon that feels better, and then feel for it and find it, and feel for it and find it, and feel for it and find it, until you come into alignment, till you close that gap, till you tune yourself to the vibration of all that you've become. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. It is exhilarating to come together with those like you who are reaching for the fulfillment of who you are. It is our desire as we visit like this that we awaken within you your memory of who you really are, and the value and reason and purpose for your focusing here in this contrasting experience. We want you to stand as we do inside your vortex, exhilarated with everything that you lived that put you there. We want you to feel as happy, maybe that's the wrong word. We want you to feel joyous about your despair. How about that? Because from inside the vortex, you can feel joyous about the guidance that let you know where you were, your focusers, you see. And there isn't one of you who will move forward from this point in time who will not know now in much clearer fashion how to focus the power that is you into the productive expansion that is you. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain joyously incomplete.